been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
What's the issue? What's going on?
I'm sorry. She's been disrespectful the whole ride, and I just asked her to get out, and she's refusing to do that.
This is civil.
Can you listen? I understand if it's civil.
The
Are
ride.
you gonna take me home?
No.
The ride has
Absolutely.
been.
This is your
Because you're not
responsibility.
listening.
Okay,
You're with this man. Excuse me.
I'm not doing
operator,
this.
Are you still on
Listen.
the line? Because you're not speaking now.
You need to hang up. You're with me now.
I'm not with you. I'm on the phone. I'm with this man.
Okay.
She's acting
Who's
dangerous.
kicked me out
She's yelling.
56 minutes.
He has no reason.
56 minutes after my ride.
You can get.
This is incredible. But honestly, this is one of my worst nightmares. If I was an Uber driver in the service industry, this is one of my worst nightmares. For one thing, just to have someone riding behind you where your neck is exposed, your head is exposed, you don't know if these people are armed, if they have knives, and you don't know their mental state. And this woman is refusing to get out of this man's car after she's been behaving erratically, she's been disrespectful, she won't get out. The kicker is she's part of a protected class ever since 2020. Ever since the George Floyd riots, the police give these people, the usual suspects, chance after chance, warning after warning. They're so afraid to do their jobs. And when you listen to what she says during this video, she knows it. So she uses certain keywords like racism, racist, police brutality. I'm going to get you fired for doing what? For his job. Now we have law enforcement no longer willing to enforce the laws. So where are we going to live? They're not, so they can't enforce laws against black people. You can't enforce laws against illegals because everyone's going to protest. You know, I'm watching these videos all day long. See a lot of them. If this woman was white, they would have mumbled to her one time to get out of the car. And when she didn't, they would have drug her fucking ass out immediately. It wouldn't have took 15, 16 minutes.
Absolutely not.
For what? Because he endangered my life.
Okay.
I can press charges on you right now.
Okay. You need to get out.
I want to press charges.
Get out of the car.
I want to press charges.
Where does she get this notion that you can just make up whatever charges you want to make? You know, it feels like they live mentally, they live in a separate world, a separate society where they can just kind of make their own rules. They dictate how things are going to go. They've been living here with everybody else in the United States their entire lives. When did this fork in the road where they left from reality and went to their own private reality? When did that happen? When did people start thinking that they can just make up their own rules, follow their own rules, and now you're telling the police what you're going to charge this other guy with or what he should be charged with, and you're going to tell him, well, he was speeding and this. When have you ever known for that to be the way things work? And then for somebody to hate police, you're a part of the group that, again, the George Floyd group, the BLM group, you guys hate 12. You sure love to call them for help and scream for them to arrest other people, but I thought you hated them. You know, so it's such hypocrisy. There's double standards. Everything is backwards with this group. But just like Carmelo, this man is asking her to leave and she's refusing to leave. You know, for them to hate white people so much and to feel like they're so threatened and they're so dangerous, they sure won't get away from them and leave. You know, when it comes to the United States, you don't have to live here. There's rules here, there's laws. If I didn't agree with the rules and the laws here, I would live in another country. My suggestion is, instead of fighting with the police and potentially dying because it's a fight you're not going to win, why not just move to another country that has different laws and live? Guaranteed. If you know that if you get pulled over, you're not going to comply, you're going to want to fight, you're going to want to have it all out on the side of the road, instead of throwing your life away, why not consider moving to another country? I don't know. Again, this community is flawed. There's no logic. And here I am, little old me, applying logic to a situation that doesn't even make sense to the officer.
You're being extra.
I'm not.
You
Because
have nothing to press
haven't listened
charges.
to my situation.
Okay, so step out so I
want
can
to press
talk.
charges.
Step
I'm
out of the
not getting
car
this car
so
Can
I
you
can
put me
talk.
out this car?
Step out of the car so we can
So
talk.
he's in the wrong.
Did she just say, are you going to get me out this car? Where the fuck do these fucking people get off taunting law enforcement? Where did that come from? When did this start? Of course he's going to get you out the fucking car. Of course he's going to pull you out the car. Why would you think he would not? When did this start? And look at her face. You know, when they talk about white privilege, they're projecting. It's really black privilege because look at her face. There's no fear. There's not a care. There's no worry. There's nothing. Entitlement. She thinks that she can do whatever she wants with the police against somebody who's white because of what she saw happen during the George Floyd riots. And that was a horrible example because everybody's not going to go for that. Depending on, she's in Florida right now. The police don't have to play pity pack games. It's not California. They're not trying to earn your vote in Florida. They actually have fair elections. So all the fraud and stuff that they do in California where they need the black vote and the illegal vote, they're not going to do all that ass kissing in Florida. And here she is consistently taunting the police. When I'd say law enforcement have the toughest job, this has got to be the hardest fucking job, especially when you're dreading going to a call, knowing the usual suspects are going to be involved. Because now you're risking your career and your future on the force because they're all threatening to sue you for even arresting them for, it don't matter what the crime is. They're all going to claim police brutality and they're going to sue. And depending on the type of jury you're going to get and where you live, you know, geographically, you're probably fucked as a cop. That's why they let so much crime, people just get away with crime now. Even if you know the person, the suspect that's wanted for murder, if you think he's black or you think he's illegal, you're like, do I want to apprehend him or let somebody else do it? You're not even worried about public safety. You're worried about keeping your job. You got kids. You got a family to feed. Is that the kind of situation and a scenario that we need to be putting those in charge with protecting our society? Do we need to burden them with that worry? You know, and I can't believe 5 years ago, I'm thinking, oh yeah, they should get rid of qualified immunity. I saw Philandro Castile and I saw all these twisted videos that were really just manipulating me to believe that there's all these people being slaughtered when it's really like 8 people die unarmed. And for the most part, they claim to be unarmed, but they were usually rushing the police or trying to attack them. It wasn't just for nothing. But here I was believing that, thinking they should get, no, we need something stronger than qualified immunity because to watch police afraid to do their jobs and leaving the public at risk. This woman right here, this conversation should have went on for 2 minutes. And immediately belt to ass when she doesn't comply. Because she's not just putting the officers at risk, she's putting the driver at risk. He told you to get the fuck out of his car. He doesn't owe you anything. The ride is canceled. You're given instructions. You do not get to just not comply with what you're being asked to do by someone when they deny your service. Americans should have the right to deny service by certain people based on whatever characteristics they want to base it on. Forcing people to deal with people they don't want to is un-American and it's unconstitutional.
Step out of the car so we can talk.
I want to
Separate.
press charges
For what?
for speeding, endangering my life.
No.
He's an Uber driver. I paid him to take me to
Okay.
one destination
That's
to
fine.
the other.
And he can end the ride, and that's
That's
it.
not what I'm suing him for.
You're not suing
I'm
anybody.
suing him for endangering my life. Yes, I am.
Okay, you can sue anybody you want in this
So where's
country.
your papers?
What papers?
Your clipboard, so I can press charges.
I'm not doing anything for that.
Because you're not doing your job.
No.
Who the fuck are you to tell him what his job is? Who are you to tell him to give you a clip? What TV show did you watch where you ever saw a police interaction end with an erratic idiot being given a clipboard where they can write down charges they want to? What are you waiting for? A multiple choice? Is the clipboard gonna? Is it like you just check off what charges you want to file? What the fuck is she talking about? Imagine the man that accidentally gets her pregnant. Imagine the lies that she tells if there's a domestic violence call to her house. Imagine the men that used to never, we didn't know any better because we didn't have social media where we can look up a woman's history. imagine what men were going through 20 years ago with women. The police show up to your house. This is the woman you're dealing with, but she gives a completely different side of the story, and the man ends up in jail. This is what we were dealing with until the age of cameras. Now we have social media, and what people can do, what the public can do, we can kind of keep score. That's where the phrase "the usual suspects" comes from. It comes from that. We're able to see that there is a strong pattern, and it's specifically one group of women, to be exact. Lots of problems.
You're being.
Specific-
I can see
it's
why.
civilian thing.
I can see
They're
why.
not too precious.
I can
Listen,
see
you
why he
haven't
doesn't
been-
want to take you anywhere. You can end the ride. You can end the ride.
I'm sure you do.
He can end the
I'm sure
ride.
you do.
It's a
I want
civil
to press
matter.
charges, and I can press charges. Is that right?
Press charges for what?
For endangering my life.
Okay, you
What
want to
do
step
call
out then, so we
I
can
don't
talk?
want to step out. I want you to bring the clipboard to me.
No, that's not how this works.
How does it work, officer?
You step out of the car and you speak with me like a civil
No.
person. Yes.
Yeah, she is white privilege. She's a woman. She's fair-skinned. She speaks English, which is a white language. She's more likely going to claim she's a Christian, which is a white religion. She's not an African. She's not a black. These are white people with a tint to them. And that privilege they're talking about, it extends to them. No one else is getting this type of... Do you see how much time this cop is wasting with lip service? She should have been drugged out by her fucking braids. You comply. You don't set your own rules. And this whole time this cop is wasting with her, she could be loading a gun, pulling a gun, preparing a weapon. You can't even see inside of the car on what she's doing. So he's risking his own life, his children's future, and this poor man's life by not being proactive of enforcing my lawful orders. I asked you to get out the car. So did the driver. You will comply with my lawful orders or you will be arrested. These are commands and these are within the laws, especially in Florida. This is crazy. And matter of fact, no one even called the police. The driver flagged down the police. He's that afraid. And a woman acting like this, you don't know what she has in her purse. And his back turned to her exposed. This man did the right thing, but honestly, he should get the fuck out of the car immediately. It's too risky.
You do.
I want to press charges.
For what?
I already told you a million times. This is
If
recording.
you don't get out, I'm
Absolutely,
gonna have to
yeah.
press charges.
Record
No,
it.
I'm gonna press charges right now on you. Hello.
You have
Press
nothing to
charges.
press charges.
Press
You're in
charges.
my vehicle. Everything has to leave the vehicle.
Press
I'm going
charges.
to call Uber support. Your Uber's going to be canceled. You're not going to be able to get to your appointment.
What appointment?
You're not going to be able to get to any other
What are you
appointments.
talking
all right?
about?
Good luck. You know
What appointment?
Why are we doing this? I don't understand why you're doing
Going
this.
20 miles over the speed limit.
Okay,
You wanna test me?
I'm gonna
and
press
that's criminal.
So that's now a false
I'm gonna
accusation.
press
On
charges
that's
on
fraud.
you.
So,
It goes
so
20
now
miles
do you want
over
to
the
be
speed
sued
limit.
for fraud?
Are you drunk?
I'm not drunk.
You
You want
wanna
me to
do a
go to the
DUI?
breathalyzer?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go to
Like,
the
tell the
breathalyzer.
officer,
Now
why
you're on
you
recording.
talking to me?
Now you're on recording.
I've been on
accusing me of
recording.
being
That's
drunk.
what you said,
You're on
right?
recording of
I've been
accusing
on
me of
recording.
being
That's
drunk.
fine. So you can show
That's
him the
fraud.
recording.
Okay, that's fraud.
I'm not.
What is your name?
Officer Rodriguez.
Can I get your clipboard so I can press charges?
I am not doing any of that. You need to step out of the car, and we are going to have a civilized conversation because what you're doing right now.
Where the fuck is she keep getting this clipboard from? And it's weird. She's gonna claim white privilege and race, bro. It's all the same thing. It's the same hustle. It's the same grift. It's the same scam to get away with murder, to try to get out of punishment for crime. Like this is just it's out of control. It's way out of hand, and it's putting everyone at risk. Not just these people. It's putting the public at risk at large. And the problem is spreading because it's not being checked and it's not being stopped. This woman is not going to get punished, a slap on the wrist. They didn't punish her even tonight hard enough, so she's not going to be reluctant to do this again. See, when I have my reaction videos to this, my reaction to this is disgust. Not necessarily in this piece of trash's behavior, but in the police's inability to enforce lawful commands in the name of public safety. It's in the safety of the officer and the driver who's at work trying to earn a living, probably doing Uber on the side. It's in the best interest of the officer and the driver to pull her out of the car so you can see what she's doing, make sure she's not armed, search her, and have her get away from this man so we can get back to work. And then she can walk home or call another ride. But Uber should have already canceled her account, hopefully.
It's the most, and it's not going to end well for
You
you.
don't sound like an officer of any type of form. Who are you serving here? Yourself? Are you trying
The city
to
of Orlando.
him?
The city of Orlando.
Who are you serving?
Listen to
Who do
me.
you serve?
This is a civil matter.
I'm asking you
We
a
can
question.
we can
The fact that you
escalate
can't
this
answer it means you're
to
in the
something
fucking
else.
wrong.
Okay? All right. This lady is being the
He
most.
hasn't heard me out not 1 second, officer. The only thing he's listening
He has a
to,
right to end the ride.
He has.
He has no right to take
And
you
I have
anywhere.
the right to press charges.
For what?
Which I've
Explain
been
to me.
saying,
I've asked you to step out of the car. I've asked you to step out of the car.
She has zero fear of law enforcement because of George Floyd. Because of that period of time, that brief period of time in American history, she's not even wrong, because look at these officers. He's explaining to another officer that, well, she said this, and these men are scared to fucking death of dealing with black women. They're not as scared of black men, but especially with black women, they're afraid of getting sued. They're afraid of getting fired. They're afraid of ending up on the news. And there really is no right way to even deal with a black woman who's a criminal, who's committing these crimes, who's committing a crime. I mean, they are, watch, when you're going to see I got some other reaction videos I'm going to do. You're going to see it's the same thing. These men, these officers are scared shitless. They're scared shitless to enforce the law because it's so risky when you're dealing with certain people. And they need more protection so that they can go back to enforcing the law. That's why lawlessness is literally running rampant throughout certain parts of the country. And it's getting worse. And unless we put a stop to this right here by not making examples of these people again, then it's going to just persist and it's going to get worse.
You haven't let me press charges. What do you mean?
Talk to this officer.
I want to press charges on this man. Yeah, so I want to press charges.
Where's the location? Where's the end?
It's some hotel. I've already canceled the ride, so I don't even have the location anymore.
Press charges. I know how, so yes.
Let me just
hello.
go ahead and turn.
That's all he had to say, but I can't.
Yeah,
press
no,
charges.
you know, she had me pick her up from one hotel.
I don't want to. I want you to bring
She's having me take her to another hotel.
Okay.
You know, and she's been disrespectful the whole ride. You know, she started yelling at me. Obviously, she's getting upset and screaming. So, you know,
Okay.
it's my right to ask her to get out of the car.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
I have to call my support because this is my boss, and I have to let them know.
100%. All right.
Bro, I remember I'm in Texas at my house, and I remember, I was having like a little get together. Somebody invited these two chicks. They're getting drunk as shit because they brought their own liquor, but then they're also drinking. I'm playing pool. It's a party. They get themselves so fucking drunk that they start fighting each other. They came together, and then they called this other girl to come do their hair. All three of them start fighting at my house. And then I'm trying to talk to them like, yo, calm down. The same attitude this woman in this car has, because they're all from the same background. And after about 10 minutes of me saying, please, guys, just leave and take this somewhere else, I'm not going nowhere until you got to make her leave. I said, okay, she's leaving too. Well, then you got to make everybody leave. I'm like, no. You don't get to dictate. Who the fuck you think I am? You think I'm a cop? Do I seem like one of these officers scared to fucking death of dealing with you? Oh no. This is Texas. This is we have the we have the Second Amendment here, and we take it seriously. We protect our property. And I had to remind them that I'm asking you one time to leave. If you're trespassing, then I'm going to take it as you being an intruder. And in Texas, I hope you know what that means. And for a second, they thought they were going to argue with me, but once they realized they're not in California anymore, but they're in Texas, they moseyed the fuck down and got the fuck out of my house. This man right here, he had to get out of his own car and let a stranger literally scare him out of his own car. And now she's in there arguing, refusing. So what are you going to do? Move into his car? Stay in there forever? What if he just turns off his keys and walked away? What are you going to do? Just sit in the car for how long? Let me guess. You're going to kick out his windows. If you have a key, you're going to scratch up his interior. Like, what was the plan? Like, this is incredible that there's literally nothing we can do against one particular group in the population, or we're going to be considered, we're going to get trolled on the internet, like, or worse, you lose your job because someone says that you're some term, or they call you these names simply because you said, hey, I don't want to give you a ride, I don't want to work with you. As Americans, we're being held hostage by a 13% of the population. Why can't we do anything about it now? And why is everything that they do against people literally accepted? And there's nothing that you can really do about it because police won't even enforce the laws equally. I'm looking at the protests in LA. They're protesting because they don't want you enforcing the law against illegals. Now they don't want you enforcing the laws against black people. So then what the fuck are we supposed to do? Just, I don't know, get rid of prisons, get rid of police, and let this place turn into one of the countries that everybody fled from to come here? It's not even an option unless you're a Democrat in a blue city and you're a mayor of one of these bullshit ass cities that's being destroyed. That's literally what their proposal is. Not everything's legal, but they just won't enforce laws anymore. They're already changing the definition. That way it looks like crime's going down, but it's not. All of this, it all ties into the same thing. Police need to be able to do their job. If I didn't think so before, I literally believe it now, 1,000%.
I would do the same thing, especially with
Yeah.
Come on.
White privilege. I ain't even mad.
The most.
You're fucking-
His name is Rodriguez.
Okay.
My name is Rodriguez. It's not white privilege.
Look at you. You have no reason.
Don't interact with her.
I'm sorry.
You can't even name an example of how disrespectful to you. You can't even point it out. That's right.
He's not gonna drive her anywhere. The ride's been ended. She just doesn't want to talk to anybody. She doesn't want to understand.
Where's my refund? That's my one. You told me on recording that I would not be charged for the ride. So where's my refund?
It's crazy. They refuse to go to court to settle these issues. They want to have them all play out on the side of the road. Now she's arguing with the Uber driver, but if it wasn't an Uber driver, she would just be arguing with police. She was being pulled over. They don't understand that it's a luxury to go to court. It's a luxury to be able to get a lawyer and defend yourself. A lot of countries don't even have that. They're not civilized enough. But but when you look at, we don't even really have civilized society. I guess, these people, they can't function in society. They don't want to do it. She's literally screaming to an officer. This is not a judge. This is not anybody that can, like he kept saying, this is a civil matter. If she was white, they would have drug her out by her blonde ass hair. If this was a white man, they would have beat the dog. They would have already been on his ass. I've seen these videos where they don't even give a white person half a fucking second to even. There was a white dude, he was mentally impaired from a motorcycle accident. The cop asked him to get out of the car. He said, okay. And then he said, well, show me your ID. He said, for what? Just asking, like, why do you want my ID? I thought I was going too slow. The cop literally rips the door open. He said, okay, I got my kids in the car, sir, my wife. Can I put my truck in park? Oh, you're fighting with me. Grabs it. I'm sitting here like, this is a 5'5" white dude. She's the person, the woman in this video is who that type of energy should be applied to. That's who you need to be snatching out of cars and going crazy. But they do it to white people because they know there's no outrage. Even the guy who the cop beat up and arrested for barely any reason at all, even he was apologetic to the cop for even having to waste his time talking to him. I'm like, this guy literally assaulted you. You're the victim, but you're apologizing to him and saying, I wish I could join you. This and this. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, no wonder they're just choosing to beat up on and abuse white people now. And they're kind of just letting black people do whatever the hell they want to, no consequences. She has to beg this cop for 20 minutes to fucking arrest her. Beg to get you're begging for anything to happen. Nothing's happening. You barely can pay these guys. This job that they get paid for is enforce the law. You can't even pay them basically to enforce these laws against black people no more. And that's not good because you can't have any group in society that's above the law. It's unconstitutional. It's anti-American. We can't do that.
And I reported this man going 85 miles, 15, damn near 20 miles off the speed limit. I told him, kindly. I said, hey, the speed limit 60 degrees from now. So I don't understand where this is coming from, but obviously that's his privilege. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. His night is born. I don't know what the man thinking. I ain't did shit to him this entire ride. I'm 2.3 miles away from my
No,
complaint.
that's
I want my refund. That's all I was told, so that's all I want. I'm gonna file charges though, because I got the report.
set by the
Again, zero fear of the police.
I'm gonna drag you out of this car. You understand?
how that works.
Zero fear of the police. Zero fear of law enforcement. Zero fear of being held accountable and having any consequences. And look, because she knows nothing's going to really happen to her, look at her behavior. This is incredible. I want to fast forward so bad because my favorite part is just watching them get drug out of the car and their asses kicked because they're begging for it. Everyone has their limit. These people they're just literally pressing that luck button. Then they press that FAFO button and they're going to fuck around and find out. But I mean, look how long it takes just to get anywhere. Look how long this is taking. Why is it taking this long? What protections are out there that tells you, well, you have to let a person stay in somebody's car after they're asked to get out. You have to give them 30 minutes to digest what the fuck? What do you mean? What's taking so long to get her out of the car? I want my refund. Now you don't get to set demands in someone else's car or in someone else's house or in someone else's business. If they ask you to leave, you get the fuck out. You leave. They ask you to move, you move. You're sitting under someone else's tent where all their belongings are and you're probably sneaking and going through their bags. If they ask you to leave, you leave. You don't stab them. You don't fight with them. You don't scream and yell on the side of the road and make a big fuss. I had a crazy ass girlfriend that reminded me of her before. That's why I don't date like I used to. And we were already broken up, and I was so glad when she finally took her shit and left. One day she's like, you know what? I did leave I left my birth certificate. I gotta come over there. And I'm like, where is it at? I'll go get it. I don't want any issues. Oh no, I hid it in your closet. I'm gonna come over. Okay, come over. She gets in the house, finds her birth certificate, puts it in her purse, sits on the couch and says, I'm not leaving anywhere. You're gonna have to call the police if you want me to leave. I have to what? I have fucking neighbors. So you want me to have police come here to pull you out of my house, and I don't want to physically pull you because then now you can claim that you're a victim and scream bloody murder. Literally the same fucking thing. But I'm noticing now people are putting this all on video. I videotape everything. Somebody make up a story about you. You need to make sure you have a video. This man did not have a dash cam in his car. I bet you he invested in one after this. Because if the police hadn't came when they did and she would have claimed he did something to her, she's already claiming he was speeding, trying to kill her. It's your word versus her word. And if she's a woman and she starts crying and you're a man, then you're fucked. You're fucked. And sympathy's on her side if you don't have any proof. You got to record everything. You have no choice. I mean, luckily these cops got body cams on, but I'm glad, I'm 1,000% sure the next day he invested in a webcam for his car.
Hey, I don't know what your name is. Yeah. Hang up the phone. Let's solve this. We don't have all night to be hanging out here. She's getting disgruntled. What do we want to do? You want to press charges if she refuses to leave? I mean, what am I supposed
Yes
to do
or no,
here?
dude?
Yes or no? I mean, I need her out of the car. So,
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
it's
All
what
right.
do I have? You tell me what I have to do to get her out of the
Okay.
car.
Yep. We're gonna go with this officer. You're gonna write a statement.
Can I?
Finally. And look at the dude. Because he's white, he's reluctant to even want to press charges against a trespasser who's literally stopping him and literally basically occupying his car. You have he literally technically he has a fucking squatter in his car. He's so scared of being called racist. He's so cucked to the movement of these people with their agenda. He's so neutered. He's so dickless and ballless that he's afraid to even say, yes, I want to press charges, because he's thinking, okay, what if they show up with and want to riot in front of my house, and next thing you know, I'm getting kicked off of Uber because of bad press. He's that afraid, even though he knows it's the right thing to do. It's a smart thing to do. He's still deathly afraid of the consequences of literally doing what he's supposed to do against one of these people. That's a sad state to be in.
Absolutely not.
I'm not talking to you.
You're gonna step
I
out
don't
of
want
this
to
car.
talk to you.
You know, it's crazy. It's kind of like she has some kind of what is it called? Hypererotic sexual asphyxiation, where she wants to get manhandled. She wants to wear handcuffs because, like, she's smiling right now. This is the happiest she's been in this entire exchange. She's smiling because she's like, finally, they're gonna grab me. I'm gonna get snatched up by some white men. They're gonna rough me up and tie me up. It's like some kind of erotic, weird, violent fantasy bullshit that these people keep trying to play out with the police. Because I'm always wondering, like, you guys could just talk to the police and leave. Why do you want to fight with them? Why do you want them to snatch you up and touch you and wrestle you? Like, why do you insist on that? I think it's like some weird sexual erotic kind of thing that they really do have, that they're battling with on the inside, because I don't see any other excuse. It doesn't even have to go that way. They're insisting on it going that way, and nobody else has a better explanation for me. I've asked, and nothing else makes sense to me. So let's just, that's something we can explore in another video.
Okay.
That's my right, right?
I'm gonna give
Do
you.
I have to talk
I'm gonna
to you?
give you the opportunity
Do
to
I
step
have
out of
to
this car.
talk to
Absolutely.
you specifically?
It doesn't matter if it's me or not. I'm gonna give you the opportunity so that you don't have to go to jail
Are you gonna
tonight.
drag me out of my car? Are you gonna drag me out this car?
Bro, these cops don't want to take this little bitch to jail. They're like, please, don't make us do this. You have another chance. We're gonna give you. This was his chance number 13, chance number 14. They're like, we're giving you another chance to get. They wouldn't in a million years let a white person give them this hard of a time. They're not doing it. They're not. Go watch the videos. They're not giving white people this much grace.
If you don't step out of this car, if you don't step out of this car, okay, after the opportunity that I'm
in the
about to
backseat.
give you,
You're not the driver. This
Okay.
isn't even your right. Are you in your jurisdiction right now?
absolutely.
Where's the driver?
If you don't
Since
step out
you're
of this
making
car,
these allegations,
if you don't
the
step
driver
out of this
hasn't
car-
told me to get out of his car yet.
I'm gonna drag you out of this car. You understand me?
That's in your rights. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't step out of this car,
brutality. Go ahead. Drag me out.
Open
Drag
this
me
car
out.
up.
I'm 97 pounds. Drag me out.
come on, step out.
I'm 97
Step
pounds.
out.
So
Come on.
you can ask me.
Come on, step out.
Okay. Wow. I'm not.
Now she's fighting with police. She's trying to fight with them. She wants them to touch her. She likes that. This is a turn on for her. She is turned the fuck on. This is the action she wanted. Look at her. She loves it.
You mother. You mother.
Oh, she loves it.
You
Oh,
hey, silly mother.
oh yeah. She gets to curse. She gets to curse and be angry, bro. These women are fucking psychos. I've met women that they demand in a relationship for somebody to choke them and kick their ass. They love it. They don't like nice, sweet guys. They don't like politeness. Imagine there's some poor man that's going to end up living with her eventually in the future, or getting her pregnant by mistake. There's a poor guy that's going to be dealing with this. If he doesn't do his research, and he doesn't see that this is the kind of woman he's with, he's fucked. But you can't look at these women. They're very unassuming, depending on, especially if they look good or they're kind of cute. You really just underestimate them and how evil they are.
I put hundreds on jail. Can I get up on my knees? Can I get up on my knees? You ain't gonna drag me out.
Got any weapons?
You on me. You hear? Somewhere, ho. Stupid.
She's playing out every black police brutality fantasy in her mind she can think of. She's just trying to pretend like it's real.
And that's my wife. Yeah, for real though.
Yeah.
Hey,
She did this to you.
stop touching me, bruh. All that shit on camera. You feel good? You feel good about yourself?
Baby, do you feel good? You got what you wanted. You got your rocks off. And now that your rocks are off, you're realizing you're going to jail. You're like, now you're mad at yourself for going to jail. But you literally did this to yourself. I think they like jail. They like the back of police cars. I don't know if it's cultural. I don't know if it's genetic, but it's a pattern. There's something there, and we're all in denial about it. Someone said to me in one of my videos of the day, like, you sound like a wannabe Nick Fuentes. I said, because I'm speaking about reality, because I have opinions and I don't just go along to get along. I've already been banned off of everything. I'm already not, I already have barely any sponsors or anything. I don't, I kind of just, these are just my opinions. I'm just reacting. I'm just talking about things. But a lot of stuff just doesn't add up. And you're like, okay, well, why don't we explore some other options? There's got to be an explanation because there is a pattern. So, as a human, you should have basic pattern recognition. That's what we use for survival in nature. We see a bunch of people getting sick eating the same plant, so we stop eating the plant. We recognize there's a pattern. If you're all getting bit by a certain animal and then some people die, you learn to stay away from that animal. We can't, eat its food, or, we kind of learn. You got to find patterns in nature. There's a pattern. There's still pattern recognition that we need to address, and we're addressing it right now. That's why I'm making these videos and these reactions. And we're talking about things because I actually want to figure things out. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of nobody saying anything because everybody's so fucking scared. Scared of being canceled, scared of losing their job, scared of being, there's too much fear. Now, when you start being controlled by fear, you're fucked. Now you're not even doing what's right. You're doing what's safe. And that's not good. Yeah, she's happy as hell to be in back of that squad car. She feels comfortable at home. She got her rocks off. Probably bust all over herself. She was so happy to have these men tackling her and grabbing on her. She literally begged for it the whole time. This wasn't something she wanted to avoid. She literally purposely begged to go head first into it. Like and subscribe, share the video. We'll come back with another reaction shortly. Keep sending me these videos, the single boyfriend Rico at Gmail. I appreciate that from the chat. And we're on 6 different platforms. So wherever you're watching it from, if you can, try to tune into the YouTube. That's where I'm trying to build up my base. And I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys shortly. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.